Take a breath. If you found this message today, it's not random. There's a quiet shift happening in the world. Loud, not dramatic, but deep enough that your body can feel it before your mind understands it. This is an Aquarius transmission for the ones who feel different. For the ones who've been asking, why am I here and why now? You're not broken. You're not late. You're early. If this resonates, comment one sentence below, I received this cycle. And stay with me, because what you're about to hear isn't information, it's the beginning of a much larger remembering. When you slow down for a moment, you may remember something simple. The way light sometimes appears when you are not looking for it. Not the kind that blinds you. The kind that quietly shows up, as if it was waiting for you to notice. Maybe it happens near a window, or reflected on a wall. Light folding into itself, a shape within a shape. Not dramatic, but it stays with you. That kind of moment is not an accident. It is the universe speaking in a language older than words. One you already understand, even if you have not named it yet. This is how awareness opens. Not all at once, but layer by layer. Like standing inside a room, and suddenly realizing there is another room within it. You do not step outside of yourself to see it. You see it through yourself. That is what this moment is about. Not belief, not persuasion, recognition. You are not being asked to follow anything. You are being invited to remember what you already are. And if you are listening right now, it means something in you is already responding. You might feel it in your chest, or in your breath, or as a quiet pause behind your thoughts. Nothing is being forced. Aquarius energy never pushes. It waits. It signals. It trusts that the right ones will feel it. This message does not arrive early. It does not arrive late. It arrives when your inner timing lines up with the larger rhythm moving through the world. You are not here by coincidence. Even your curiosity has a frequency. Have you noticed how certain moments find you, right when you are questioning your place, your direction, or the sense that something is changing, but you cannot yet explain how? That is not confusion. That is awareness reorganizing itself. Like light refracting through glass, one beam becoming many, each reflection revealing a slightly different truth. You are not losing your way, you are expanding your field of vision. And the reason this feels quiet, almost subtle, is because real shifts rarely announce themselves. They whisper. They wait for you to lean in. You do not need to do anything dramatic here. No declarations, no transformations overnight. Just presence. Just noticing that something within you is already opening, already aligning, already listening. And as you stay with this feeling, as you allow it to settle instead of rushing past it, you may start to sense something else. A deeper steadiness, a subtle warmth, a knowing that does not need proof. That is your signal, not from outside, from within. And as that recognition begins to take shape, as the light continues to find its way through you, there is something else waiting to be felt. Something even closer. Something that has never been separate from you at all. There is something important I want to remind you of. And I want to say it quietly. The way you would speak to someone you trust. You were never meant to search for source somewhere far away. Not in the sky. Not in another lifetime. Not in someone else's voice. Source has never been outside of you. The reason you feel moments of recognition instead of shock is because nothing new is being added. Something is being remembered. You may notice it as a subtle shift, not fireworks, more like the air changing before rain. Your body knows first. Your breath adjusts. Your shoulders soften. Your thoughts slow down without effort. That is frequency, not something mystical, something intimate. You are not tuning into it. You are realizing you are it. Aquarius souls often carry this quiet knowing. A sense that you were never meant to fit perfectly into existing structures, because you were designed to feel the current beneath them. And when that current moves, you move with it. There is no force in this process. No demand to become better. No pressure to heal faster. The shift happens because you allow yourself to feel what is already present. Light and shadow both live here, not as enemies, as partners. Your doubts, your compassion, your fear, your clarity, none of them disqualify you. They shape you. This is how consciousness matures, by including everything, not cutting parts away. If you have ever felt torn between who you are becoming and who you have been, this is why. You are not splitting. You are integrating. And the reason this feels gentle is because Aquarius energy does not collapse systems. It weaves them together. It sees the future not as an escape, but as a natural unfolding of what has always been true. You do not need to choose between light and dark. You learn how to hold both without losing yourself. That is wisdom. Quiet. Stable. Deep. And when you notice this happening inside you, something else begins to shift. The need to prove. The need to explain. The need to convince others of what you feel. It softens. You realize connection does not come from agreement. It comes from resonance. From being fully present in your own frequency. This is why your presence matters more than your performance. Why your way of being carries more influence than your words. You are not here to overpower the world. You are here to attune it. And as you sit with that truth, as it settles into your nervous system, there is a quiet confidence that begins to rise. Not loud, not demanding, but steady. The kind that does not need validation, because it knows where it comes from. And when that steadiness becomes familiar, when it starts to feel like home inside your body, you may notice a gentle urge. Not to hide anymore, not to shrink your voice, not to dim what naturally moves through you. It does not arrive as urgency. It arrives as readiness. And without announcing it, without naming it, something begins to open around you. There is something important I want to remind you of. And I want to say it quietly. The way you would speak to someone you trust. You were never meant to search for source somewhere far away. Not in the sky, not in another lifetime, not in someone else's voice. Source has never been outside of you. The reason you feel moments of recognition instead of shock is because nothing new is being added. Something is being remembered. You may notice it as a subtle shift, not fireworks. More like the air changing before rain. Your body knows first. Your breath adjusts. Your shoulders soften. Your thoughts slow down without effort. That is frequency, not something mystical, something intimate. You are not tuning into it. You are realizing you are it. Aquarius souls often carry this quiet knowing. A sense that you were never meant to fit perfectly into existing structures, because you were designed to feel the current beneath them. And when that current moves, you move with it. There is no force in this process, no demand to become better, no pressure to heal faster. The shift happens because you allow yourself to feel what is already present. Light and shadow both live here, not as enemies, as partners. Your doubts, your compassion, your fear, your clarity, none of them disqualify you. They shape you. This is how consciousness matures, by including everything, not cutting parts away. If you have ever felt torn between who you are becoming and who you have been, this is why. You are not splitting, you are integrating. And the reason this feels gentle is because Aquarius energy does not collapse systems. It weaves them together. It sees the future not as an escape, but as a natural unfolding of what has always been true. You do not need to choose between light and dark. You learn how to hold both without losing yourself. That is wisdom. Quiet, stable, deep. And when you notice this happening inside you, something else begins to shift. The need to prove, the need to explain, the need to convince others of what you feel. It softens. You realize connection does not come from agreement. It comes from resonance, from being fully present in your own frequency. This is why your presence matters more than your performance. Why your way of being carries more influence than your words. You are not here to overpower the world. You are here to attune it. And as you sit with that truth, as it settles into your nervous system, there is a quiet confidence that begins to rise. Not loud, not demanding, but steady. The kind that does not need validation, because it knows where it comes from. And when that steadiness becomes familiar, when it starts to feel like home inside your body, you may notice a gentle urge, not to hide anymore, not to shrink your voice, not to dim what naturally moves through you. It does not arrive as urgency. It arrives as readiness. And without announcing it, without naming it, something begins to open around you. There is a reason everything feels different lately, not suddenly, but steadily, like the ground beneath you shifting just enough that you notice your footing even while you keep walking. What you are sensing is real. A new cycle has already begun, not someday, not in theory. It is unfolding quietly, inside conversations, inside choices, inside the way people are questioning old answers that no longer feel alive. This shift is not owned by a few. It is shared, and you were never meant to watch it from the sidelines. Even if you have felt like an observer most of your life, the one who sees patterns before others do, the one who feels the future before it has a name, that does not make you separate. It makes you essential. You are not here to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. That was never the design. No single person is asked to complete the work of an entire era. No soul is meant to burn itself out trying to fix everything. This cycle is not about urgency. It is about continuity. What you bring matters because of how it adds to the whole, not because it replaces anyone else. Aquarius energy understands this deeply. That evolution does not happen through pressure. It happens through participation, through each person showing up as themselves in the time they are in, with the awareness they carry. You may have wondered why your life feels like it has spanned more than one story, why certain lessons feel familiar the moment you touch them, why you are drawn to futures you may not fully see yet. That is not imagination, it is memory moving forward. Growth does not begin and end in one lifetime. It builds, it layers, it remembers itself through you. So if you ever feel behind, pause. If you ever feel like you should be doing more, pause. You are not late. You are not failing. You are participating in a process that is larger than a single chapter. There is relief in realizing you do not have to rush your becoming, that your pace is not a flaw. That depth takes time. And the world needs depth now more than speed. You do not have to solve the future. You help shape it by how you live in the present, by how you listen, by how you respond instead of react, by how you choose connection over certainty. This is how cycles change, not all at once, but through countless moments of conscious presence. And when you recognize that your role is not to finish the work, but to carry it forward with integrity, something softens, the pressure lifts, the horizon widens. You realize you are part of a long, intelligent movement of life, one that began before you, one that will continue after you. And instead of feeling small in that truth, you feel grounded, supported, exactly where you are meant to be as the current continues to move. There is one fear that almost everyone carries, even when they do not speak about it. It lives quietly beneath the surface, in the background of choices, in the way time sometimes feels heavy. The fear that this is all there is, that if you do not finish everything now, it will be lost. But listen closely. What you are part of was never designed to end at the edge of a single lifetime. Your body is temporary, yes, but what moves through you is not. The work you are doing right now, the healing you choose, the kindness you offer when no one is watching, it travels farther than you can see. Nothing meaningful disappears. You have felt this before. In moments that feel strangely familiar. In connections that seem to stretch beyond explanation. In the sense that some things are older than memory. That is not imagination. That is continuity. You are not racing against time. Time is walking with you. And when you realize this, something inside you can finally rest. There is no finish line you are about to miss. No hidden deadline you failed to meet. You are allowed to move at a human pace. To breathe between steps. To live fully without exhausting yourself trying to complete the infinite. You do not have to prove your worth through urgency. There is wisdom in staying. In showing up again and again with love, even when the results are not immediate. Your presence matters more than your speed. And when you think about endings, about loss, about the moment everything seems to fade, remember this. What ends is the form, not the essence. What you carry forward is not measured in years. It is measured in resonance. So there is no need to rush. No need to worry that you are behind. No need to pressure yourself into becoming someone else faster. You are already becoming. With every breath, with every choice to remain open, love does not ask for perfection, it asks for presence. To stay kind when it would be easier to close. To stay curious when certainty feels safer. To stay connected when fear invites withdrawal. This is the work that continues, quietly, faithfully. And it does not stop because a body rests. It moves through memory, through influence, through the subtle shifts you leave in the people and places you touch. You are part of something that does not end. Something that learns through you. Something that remembers itself through love. Let that soften your grip on time. Let it ease the pressure you carry in your chest. You are not meant to complete everything. You are meant to contribute truthfully. And as you allow that truth to settle, as the fear loosens and the urgency fades, what remains is something simple. A steady warmth, a quiet trust. A sense that being here, exactly as you are, is already enough. And from that space, love continues to move. There is something else I want you to feel right now. Not think about. Feel. The sense that you have never been walking alone. Even in the moments when it truly felt that way. Even in the years when no one seemed to understand your timing, your questions, or the quiet way you carry depth. There has always been a presence moving with you. Not watching from above. Not directing from a distance. Walking beside you. You may notice it when you suddenly feel supported without knowing why. When strength shows up on days you thought you had none left. When clarity arrives in the middle of uncertainty. That is not coincidence. There is a shared field of awareness that responds when you listen inward. A kind of companionship that does not need words, faces, or agreement. You do not connect to it through effort. You align with it through honesty. This connection does not rely on networks or belief systems. It is not held together by rules or rituals. It does not ask you to follow or submit. It meets you where you are. You may have felt it most clearly in moments of stillness, late at night, early morning, when the world is quiet enough for you to hear your own inner rhythm. That is when the sense of being supported becomes undeniable. Not dramatic, not overwhelming. Instead, Aquarius energy has always understood this kind of connection. That true belonging is not loud. It does not demand proof. It feels like recognition. Like realizing you are part of a conversation that never stopped, even when you stepped away for a while. You are not required to carry everything by yourself. You never were. There is intelligence moving through the collective, learning through many perspectives at once, responding to the courage of those who remain open. When you choose presence over withdrawal, curiosity over defense, love over fear, you strengthen that shared field. Not because you try, because you are aligned. You do not have to see everyone who walks with you to feel the support. You do not need confirmation to trust it. If you have ever felt guided without instruction, comforted without explanation, or encouraged without pressure, you already know this truth. You are not imagining it. And perhaps the most healing part of this realization is understanding that you do not have to earn belonging. You remember it. You remember that you are part of a living network of awareness, one that responds to authenticity, one that strengthens through compassion. As this settles into you, the sense of isolation begins to loosen. Not because your life suddenly changes, but because your relationship to it does. You feel less alone inside your own experience. And from that space, from that quiet understanding that you are accompanied, something gentle begins to form, a deeper willingness to stay open, to trust your timing, to remain engaged even when the path is unclear, not because you have all the answers, but because you know you are supported as you move. And as that support becomes familiar, as it feels natural instead of surprising, your attention turns outward again, toward the way your presence affects others, toward the subtle influence you carry without effort. And without naming it, without announcing a shift, your awareness begins to widen. The sense of connection you feel inside starts to look for expression in the world around you. There is a moment that comes quietly. Often when you are not trying to understand anything, you might be looking out at the rain, or watching light move across a wall, or listening to music that opens something you did not know was closed. And suddenly, you feel it, a sense that what you are seeing is not separate from you. The rain does not feel distant. The wind does not feel external. The warmth of the sun does not feel like it belongs to something else. It feels familiar, because it is. You are not observing life from the outside. You are participating in it from the inside. The same intelligence that moves the oceans moves through your breath. The same force that shapes the sky shapes your thoughts. You are not small inside this world. You are woven into it. This is something Aquarius souls often sense early, even if they do not have language for it yet. A feeling of belonging everywhere and nowhere at the same time. You see beauty and it stirs you deeply, not because it is impressive, but because it feels like recognition. Art does this to you. Music. A sentence that lands at the right moment. A face you have never seen before but somehow understand. That resonance is not coincidence. It is you recognizing yourself in different forms. You are not here to dominate the world. You are here to experience it from within. And yes, you are doing this through a human body, with limits, with fatigue, with time. But this form is not the whole story. It is a doorway. You are visiting this shape, this name, this life, just long enough to feel what it is like to be here. That does not make you insignificant. It makes you brave. To enter density, to feel separation, to forget just enough so that remembering means something. You are not meant to escape being human. You are meant to inhabit it fully, while knowing it is not the end of who you are. This is why moments of awe feel so grounding for you. They do not lift you out of your body. They bring you deeper into it. You realize that infinity is not far away. It is present, right here, expressing itself through your senses. And when you remember this, even briefly, the pressure to prove yourself eases. You stop measuring your life against impossible standards. You stop asking if you are enough, because you can feel it. You are already participating in something vast, something intelligent, something alive, not as an observer, as a presence. And from that awareness, a gentle responsibility begins to emerge, not obligation, not duty. Care for how you move through the world. Care for what you reflect back into it. Care for the way your inner state shapes what you notice outside. Because if you are woven into everything you see, then what you carry within you matters. And as that care deepens, as your sense of belonging expands beyond the edges of self, there is a quiet invitation waiting. An understanding that how you feel, how you choose joy or tension, how you hold your inner weather, is not private. It ripples. And without effort, without declaration, your awareness continues to open. There is something the world has misunderstood for a long time, and maybe you have too. That joy is fragile, that it is indulgent, that it belongs at the end of the road after everything is fixed, after all the work is done. But joy was never meant to be a reward. It is a signal. Fear tightens the body. Anxiety narrows perception. Worry pulls attention into imagined futures that drain the present. None of those states raise the world's frequency. They compress it. Joy does the opposite. Not the loud kind. Not the performative kind. The quiet joy that arrives when you feel aligned with yourself. When your breath deepens without effort. When you stop arguing with the moment you are in, that joy carries information. It tells your nervous system that it is safe to open. It tells your mind that it does not have to defend. It tells your heart that it is allowed to move outward again. And when one person stabilizes in that state, something subtle happens. The space around them shifts. Conversations soften. Tension releases. Others feel permission to exhale. Not because you tried to change anything, but because coherence is contagious. This is how the collective recalibrates. Not through fear-based urgency. Not through constant alarm, but through individuals who choose to remain present and open even when the world feels uncertain. Your joy is not separate from the whole. It is part of the infrastructure of change. When you choose joy, your personal frequency adjusts. When your frequency adjusts, the shared field responds. And as that field stabilizes, the new cycle finds its footing. This is not naive optimism. It is energetic mechanics. You do not deny pain by choosing joy. You give pain a place to move through. Joy allows grief to breathe. It allows healing to integrate. It allows wisdom to land instead of overwhelm. Aquarius energy understands this deeply, that the future is not built through tension alone. It is built through sustained clarity, through people who can hold complexity without losing warmth. You were never meant to carry the weight of the world on your back. You were meant to anchor a different tone within it. One that says it is possible to care without collapsing, to see clearly without hardening, to remain hopeful without disconnecting from reality. This is not about fixing humanity. It is about remembering how to be human in a way that supports life. And if you ever question why you are here, why you feel so sensitive to the state of the world, why you notice shifts before they are visible, remember this. You are here because your inner state matters. Because how you hold yourself affects more than you can measure. Because joy, chosen honestly, becomes a stabilizing force in uncertain times. And as you sit with that truth, as it settles into your body like a quiet warmth, there is nothing you need to do next. Just stay present. Let the breath move naturally. Let the moment hold you. And trust that simply by being here fully, you are already participating in the change you came to witness. Before you go, there is one last thing I want to leave with you. Not a lesson, not an answer, a reminder. Everything you just felt was not coming from this voice, it was coming from you. This message did not awaken something new. It touched something ancient that was already awake inside you. And maybe that is the surprise, that you were never searching, you were remembering. If your chest feels a little warmer right now, if your breath feels slower, if the world outside sounds slightly different, that is your signal. You are aligned. And alignment is not loud. It does not demand proof. It does not rush. It simply knows. This is what it feels like when Aquarius energy finds its home in the human heart. Clear, calm, connected. You are not alone in this frequency. There are others listening right now who feel the same quiet recognition. Different lives, different stories, same inner knowing. If you feel called, leave a comment below and write one simple line. I am here, not for me, for each other. And if this space feels safe, this voice feels familiar, subscribe. Stay close. This is not a channel for noise. It is a place for remembrance. Most of all, trust yourself. Trust the way your body responds before your mind explains. Trust the joy that steadies you. Trust the timing of your life. You are not late. You are not early. You are exactly where this cycle needs you to be. And this is not the end. The journey continues. The next message is already forming, quietly, patiently. Until we meet again, stay open, stay present, and remember, just by being who you are already changing the world.